Today I'm going to be making a prototype solar heat dump to store excess energy for when the battery is full and there is still sun to come in. But I won't be storing it as electric. Instead, I'll be storing it as heat energy from just a standard heater, putting it out into the air that's into the house. So you might be asking, why am I actually doing any of this? First, it was just curiosity. But the more I thought about it, the more it just made sense. The batteries are at 100% and there's excess solar available with nowhere to go. And on top of all that, we're currently paying for oil for the central heating. And with that being an external thing that I have no control over, where it comes to the supply or prices over the years, it just made me want to think about doing something like this. At least until we get a heat pump down the line where we can take the heat energy from outside and move it inside with a efficiency of around 200 to 400%. But we'll get into that in another project. So what's my plan with all this? For version 1, I've just thrown together bits I have around the house, which is this heater and this Wi-Fi plug. So what's my plan for the system? For version 1, I'm just throwing together bits I have around the house to make this proof of concept. First one being a way to turn the electric into heat. That's pretty simple. We've got an old heater that will just convert 1000 watts into heat. Near enough 1-to-1 ratio. And the second part of that is a way to automate turning on this heater. So we're going to be using this Wi-Fi socket we got here. And third, and most importantly, a way to automate all of this, because these two are just pretty done by themselves. So we've got a Home Assistant here, which I can control this socket, which will control the heater, and the ability to get information from the off-grid solar system for when's best to turn it on. So as soon as there's excess solar available, we can turn on this heater. So who could actually benefit from a system like this? It's definitely not for everyone, but for people that have solar panels that they can monitor and are currently stuck on gas or oil heating. As you have days where you're still running the heating, but there's still plenty of solar and your batteries are completely full, you can take that energy and dump it directly into heat. Using a heat like this, it would just be a 1-to-1 ratio, but there's nothing stopping you applying this to a heat pump as well. As you've got that untapped energy, you can dump it directly into the house, so you don't need to use your fuel, which overall saves you money by not needing to burn that fuel. Secondly, and more importantly, it helps the environment by not releasing any of that back into the atmosphere. So right now you might be thinking, so Lucy, tell us how the build went. And I'll get onto that right now. I'm just going to take you through the build quickly so we can get into testing. First, here you can see we got this smart plug, which is just a Wi-Fi control plug that's connected to a Home Assistant that we have here, where you can manually control the dump load. You should be able to hear it kicking on now and see the temperature increasing. And back off. When this plug is on, it's allowed power to run from here to the heater and out into the room, which will be kicking out 1000 watts on its current setting. The energy that is pulling from here is just connected to our off-grid power system. If you want to see any more on that, you can watch this video up here next. And for the next piece of the puzzle, I've got our Victron system that tells Home Assistant how much battery there is, how much batteries are discharging, how much solar is coming in, and the AC coming out to the house. Now that we've got these two key pieces connected in one place, it's time to do some Home Assistant magic / confusion to work out how much dump load we have available. In short, and for the sake of viewer attention, I worked out the potential solar that there could be from the current solar panel voltage from the charge controller and the solar panel specs. And then using those bits of information, you can work out the dump load that's needed. Once we got the dump load worked out, I can use some simple automations to turn on this socket when the battery is above 95% and the dump load is above 1000 watts. And on the opposite side of that is to turn off the dump load when the dump load is below 1000 watts or when the battery is below 95%. Which then it will turn off the socket. So that's enough explaining. Let's get on and test it. I will get this set up against the wall so there's a nice visual that you can see where you can see the air is heating up. From the heater, I've got this thermocouple which is in front of the heater grill, and this one, which is attached to the wall, where you'll see these two temperatures increase over time. So we'll just manually test that now so you can see it. This bottom one is directly in front of the heater. And this top one is on the wall. And so you can see it visually. There is the thermal camera, and that is the wall heating up. Here in the Home Assistant dashboard for the solar heat dump, I've got the potential solar and the target wattage for the dump load, along with the solar in and the AC out. Here is a button to manually trigger the dump load, but for this test going forward, I won't be touching that. And now we just wait, because annoyingly, for this type of project, the weather is completely out of my hands. But I will just be leaving the camera here and letting it cycle a couple of times throughout the day, and I'll get back to you. And with that, you should have been able to hear that this heater kicked on because this smart plug turned on. Because we're at 95% battery, we've got excess solar. The AC out includes this, but this calculation takes into account if this is running or not. So it's actually 500 watts is the AC load before the heater. So it's got a threshold of around 2000 between these two, excluding the heater. Hopefully all that made sense. But based on those cases, we get 2000 watts available. This is only set to 1000 currently. So the dump load is turned on. And you can see from that the wall temperature is increasing and the temperature in front of this probe has gone up. Before, this was sitting around about the air temperature in the room, and this was the temperature of the wall. But as it's currently shining with sun, even though it's slightly bright, because of the overpaneling on our off-grid system, we get more than enough to max out the charge controller. So for now, I'll let all this system cycle a couple of times so you can see it in action, but that's pretty much project complete. At least version 1 until we get to the version 2, which involves the central heating. I just came back into the room after a couple minutes and it's well toasty in here already. But as this is just air temperature, it'll take a little while to actually soak into the mass of the building. But you can see here that this current cycle has been running for 6 minutes, and that's been 6 minutes interrupted where it's had excess. The battery has not gone down. I could increase this threshold a bit, but I want to keep it around 95%. I can't explain why, it just feels about right. This energy has no real place to go since the battery is mostly full. It's coming from these solar panels into all the off-grid system, straight through the inverter, down this cable towards the house, and then from the house through the transfer switch into our consumer unit, where it finally ends up into all of these sockets around the house. But yeah, I'm well happy with this, even though it's a proof of concept. And obviously I would not leave this kind of heater just dangling here, automate it all by itself. But there's more surprises to come on the version 2 of this. As for an automatic turn off, the dials on this one is, one of them sets it to 1000 watts, and the other one is the temperature where this will manage its own temperature based on the air, and it will cut off. You can see there as a more visual aid where it's kicking out all that temperature into the room, and that's the temperature gradient of the wall. So for now it's just a small area, but as these walls are about 1/2 meter thick, they will soak up all that energy and slowly release it into the room over the day. As for timing on this, it's currently 11:50 and we're already kicking out an extra 1000 watts into the air, which has really increased the temperature in this room. And the battery is fully charged, so it could sit putting out this temperature into the room for the next 3 to 5 hours without any drops. And I've just checked the Victron dashboard, and even with running this, we're putting out another 400 watts into the battery just to trickle charge its remaining couple of percent. But yeah, I think that'll do it, as I don't even see this turning off today, but I will leave this time lapse running for another hour-ish just to see if it does cycle on and off, but I don't think it's going to. I do have a good test to show you. In theory, and if I set it up correctly, this load should also switch off if I give it something more priority to turn on. So I'm going to go turn the kettle on now, which will draw around 2,000 to 3,000 watts just by itself, where it will draw from the battery. This one should turn off until the kettle is finished, where it will turn back on. So I'll get the kettle turned on now. So I've just turned the kettle on and we'll see what happens. The AC is kicked up, so this is the kettle going on. The potential solar has dropped and the dump load should stop in a moment. There you go, it's just stopped. This one has a 15-second delay on it before it will take any action due to the relationship between the dump load being on and the AC calculation having some lag in it. But yeah, I can hear the kettle on in the distance. So we're currently drawing 3 kilowatt from the panels and 1 kilowatt from the battery. And that's to run the kettle currently. The kettle's starting to come to a boil. We'll have to run back quickly to the laptop where you'll see the heater kick on. Okay, it's about to kick off. Now back here at the laptop, the AC power should drop. It's just dropped. Whereas in about 15 seconds, the target solar dump should kick back on. Where this one will turn on, the heater will be on, and the temperature will start rising again. There you go, it's gone up to 1,000. Hey, there we go. I don't know what that was. It might be some rounding issue with the 1,000 because it seemed to kick on immediately when it hit 2,000. But that's a prototype for you. There's all the things we can iron out down the line. But yeah, that was version 1 of the solar heat dump, and we'll just have to see where it goes from there. And you might have noticed there that the temperatures didn't drop that much in that time because of the thermal mass of that wall. But I think that will do it for this test run to show you guys. Whereas I'll just leave this running now for the next couple of days and keep an eye on it before starting on version 2. So my final thoughts on this project. So personally, I think it works really well, but I'm super curious as to what you guys think. Would you ever try something like this in your home? But for me, overall, it just gives the extra boost for the central heating, so the boiler doesn't need to kick on as often. But this is just a first prototype with things I have lying around in the house. But next up, I will be distributing that heat all the way around the house by inverting a radiator. If you like the sound of that project and want to see other things like that I get up to, hit the subscribe and like buttons down below, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching. Until then, I'll see you next time.